This is the Bidet Boys.
How do you cast your vote?
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight to officially
go to Demstock with Daniel and Roberto. Hell yeah.
Another round of shots. DHC, turn out for what?
All of Israel is beautiful. All of Palestine is beautiful. But that fucking asshole that runs the government of Israel is a prick. And he makes it less beautiful.
He's even got a really cool name that it just like Netanyahu is fun to say. And yet
it sounds like chocolate milk, and he's in that right. Sounds like a fucking children's character. But he'll kill your kids. Like fucking prick. Like I like he is the one person that it would be like I don't know him.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'd be whooping his ass for an entire country. But I feel like he can throw hands. That's the thing. I feel like him. I feel like all those guys. I feel like Putin could throw hands.
For sure.
I think the only one I think I could not fight. Like that's fun. That's a fun game. What dictator do you think you could take? I think I could take Kim Jong-un. I think I could take him.
Sure. I'd be
for sure. with no help. Like if he has no help, yeah, I wax it. It's done. But no, I don't know. Putin, like he's been wrestling bears and shit, and then I don't know, man. I don't know how many other Castro looks like an eye poker though. So,
dude, just by the fact that so many people tried to kill him and were unsuccessful, I don't think that we would have much of a shot against Castro, if I'm being honest.
No, he was so fucking notorious that my great grandma had to leave that country and come to Florida to get away from him. Like, wow. Which, by the way, shout out great grandma, but also not shout out great grandma because according to Project 2025, I would be eligible to be fucking deported, despite the fact that I'm like a third fucking generation. You weirdo.
Yeah. So with that, Democratic National Convention. We've got all of the highlights from all 4 nights. Let's get it. They're in no particular order. So
I just real quick before we even start though, was anybody shocked by like how much older some of these people look than the last 4, like when you saw them maybe 4 years ago?
Elizabeth Warren definitely looks like worse for wear.
I thought she looked the same, but
really?
Like Keenan looks older.
Oh,
like
okay,
I thought Keenan looks older, man.
Little John looked
like a full on like prep school graduate. Like he just graduated from Harvard. Like that was wild to look at. And then I forgot who else it was. There was somebody else that was, oh my goodness, Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries has taken Ozempic. That is clear. But he's also like older, man. Like.
Yeah,
biggest head in the world. That's how you know. Like the head stays the same for a little while. It's kind of like steroids. It's just like
very much. Let's hop right in.
Seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time.
Party is not civil or conservative.
You feel free to stop it. You have control. Stop it at any point when you want to talk about it.
All right. We'll hold time real quick. Just time real quick. CBD.
CBD's nuts.
And crazy. And the only thing left to do is dump Trump.
Personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
That's wild.
Bill Clinton. That is true. But my God, he looks terrible. Whoa. Like, honestly, if you did not tell me that was a president, I would have thought he was a former meth head.
Really? Well,
honest to God, bro, his face looks terrible.
He probably could have been.
I don't know, man. Bill lived life. He did.
Yeah, I think
Bill in a way, if you really thought about it, like it's kind of crazy to say this, but Bill kind of had that swag until we found Obama, and then we learned what swag actually was. But prior to that, it was Bill. Like Bill was the closest we came.
Yeah, he got free healthcare via SWAG-AFTRA.
facts. My guy right here. Balls to the wall.
Republicans use the word freedom. They mean that the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. Corporations free to pollute your air and water. And banks free to take advantage.
I love the just subtle boos. It's like they're not like fucking like sports boos.
Yeah.
But they're just
like real quick.
Yeah.
In and out. Yeah.
But when we Democrats talk about freedom, we mean
It's almost like they were all given like a remote and it had the boo button. Like instead of actually booing, they just click a button and it like just plays.
the freedom to make a better life for yourself and the people that you love. Freedom.
Okay, real quick, because these are conversations I have with my wife, who's a Democrat, more of a progressive, but left. So in comparison to the Republicans, he's correct. They're not trying to get involved in your life, they're not trying to be all up in your wife's uterus up in the doctor's office.
Yeah,
which anybody can fucking appreciate. In fact, like more than 70% of people from both parties appreciate that, regardless. But like, you have to say pew pew and unalived.
Yeah.
Like, how is that freedom? And just as somebody who's been around family members who, when they first came here from Cuba, they were staunch Republicans because freedom is all that mattered to them.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing you don't like. You can't even vote for who you want to. So, like, I nowadays that party's obviously removed from like kind of the stuff that they're doing then. But the thing it kind of remains is like, does any party actually stand for like freedom?
True.
Like it makes you think, right? Like
one could say it's just you could trace it back to capitalism because the consequences are, oh, you can't say gun because then your video won't be seen and you'll be demonetized, and as a result you won't make money on that video. This is a point that I heard from Donald Trump. He's not even a head football coach, he's a defensive coordinator. That was
crazy. That was crazy.
So not only are they questioning this man's service to our country, but they're also questioning his qualifications to be a football coach.
And I am glad you mentioned that. That's really what I wanted to get on here and say. Like, listen, as someone who studies campaigns, like that's what I want to do. I'm learning right now that you can literally give someone the keys to success.
Yeah.
And they can actually ruin it.
Yeah.
Like for instance, how angry do you think Republicans are? Like, I know no one's going to actually say it because Donald has said that Joe it was unconstitutional for him to be swapped out. It wasn't, but whatever. And so now all the Republicans are like, it's unconstitutional. So they'll never tell you. But if they did, how many do you think would want to swap Donald out right now?
So many of them, I'm sure. When white supremacists are saying like, hey man, maybe you should take me.
Right. Like even your actual like people that you rocked with, like them people that came to the Capitol, they're not coming back, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And now he said he's going to be the best president for women. What did he say? He would veto a bill if a federal abortion came to his desk. Like, and there you go, right? All the evangelicals, you can hear the collective sighs, like the groans.
As a former evangelical, I don't know if you've seen this. I'm gonna put up on YouTube real quick. But
I have one, just one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
I want you to try to do this because it's kind of hard. Imagine that you're on the other side. So you've been for like 60 years, I think. For about 60 years, you've been trying to get that law, that Roe you've been trying to get that overturned. And you finally do it.
Yeah.
Even though like I just told you, like more than 70% of both parties, when polled, more than 70% of people are totally fine with that law.
Yeah.
So you're in the minority. So the odds are against you. And you still work for 7 years. You finally get it overturned. You're ready to vote for Donald Trump. You're like, he's my hero, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, that if you have a chance to like actually make this permanent, like you would want, like not just so like, because now as it is, you can just find another case to challenge it.
Yeah.
But as opposed to him like, you know, shoring that up and closing that avenue, he said no to appease Democrats who will never vote for him. That person right there is the one that you need to watch. Like, did they buy a firearm?
Yeah.
Like, because they might go in a place pretty upset soon. like I couldn't imagine like all your life's work just dismantled by Donald Trump.
Well, if we really want to go back to it, the only reason that like abortion is such a rallied against is because the evangelicals weren't allowed to be anti-segregation anymore. They needed something to unite the right. That's the 100% what happened. We're not allowed to be racist anymore.
The crappy thing about politics always makes people seem like one thing because of their belief. Like the only thing I will tell you is this. Not all of them. Not you cannot look at everybody and tell if they voted for Trump or not. But there are some people that you can always tell that they definitely voted for Trump. Absent a flag, a hat, a sticker, any of that. Like you can still you can look at them and you're like, I know. But that's the problem. Is that because of that, and I think that's true, but because of that, we believe that we can do that now. So we believe that every person with purple hair is a hardcore liberal.
Yeah, when they're not. Like
they may just be a libertarian that likes fucking like that hair color.
Yeah. I saw a thing on TikTok. It was like they were at a Trump rally, and they were interviewing this person who you totally would have thought that was a liberal. But it turns out they used to be a Satanist, and then they found God, but they kept like the vibes.
The cross and said, Lord, I have sinned. I'm sorry for my sin. I'm willing to change my way of life.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness? That's a tough question. I'm not sure I have. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't.
Like,
yeah, like it's obvious. I think Donald, he sells Bibles, by the way.
Yeah, he does sell Bibles.
You know, like I mean, I think I said this before, but like a professor one time, he told me that his view, this is his view, right? He has 10 years, not going to get fired. Who cares? He's just going to let it fly. His view is that the present day Republican Party is just an attempt to legislate selfishness.
Yeah.
Like that's what he believes. He's like, these people are only here to indulge selfish ass people that don't want to help anybody because either, you know, whatever their reason. And when you see shit like that, like when you see clear ass examples like that, I mean, you can like hate like you don't know his politics. I didn't tell you, but like you can hate those or whatever. But like, how's that not true?
Oh yeah. Well, if you like, I've had somebody like I work in logistics, and somebody told me is like, hey, if Trump gets elected, he's gonna pass this bill, and we're gonna make a lot more money. And that right there outweighs every single thing that is wrong with Trump in that person's mind because it's gonna benefit me.
Right.
Like, I feel like the left, they're more concentrated on their fellow person, or at least more so than the right, and that's kind of where it's self versus others.
I mean, like Mitch McConnell of all people, he explains it the best. He's like, the issue is candidate quality.
Yeah,
he's like, that's been our issue for like 4 years now, is candidate quality. Like the quality of our candidates has been so shit. Herschel Walker, shit. Like all these people that we put in place. but then also you see shit like the CNN reporting where they're showing you that like some of the biggest donors to Trump are the ones that he goes and puts on for the rally. So in a way, you're like Carrie Lake is his biggest donor. No one knows who the fuck she was nationwide, but now you do because he's put her on the map. She paid for that, but not her. You, but like not me and you. We don't live in Arizona, but I don't know. I've never contributed to a campaign. I hope you haven't.
No,
and so like so like, but who? If you have, you paid for it. You gave Donald Trump a bunch of money so that he would put. And you might say like, that's great. I want that kind of advertisement. Awesome. Until you see him losing his shit because he's losing to a 59-year-old woman. Now what's up? Like, don't you wish you had that money?
Yeah.
Like, that's honestly like, and this is as much of my opinion, personal opinion, like not being trying to like you're fucking stupid. Like, that's ridiculous.
How did you not see this coming? Maybe not to the level that it is now, but like this man, I don't know. But yeah,
like his plan was clearly, and it's a good plan. That's the point. That's why this is so cool to watch. Because I liked it because I was like, well, how is he gonna recover? But he isn't. His whole plan was just to let Joe Biden be disliked by being Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do the same thing with two people that are actually likable. And he's just like, I'm gonna say nothing and let people dislike them. And damn it, it's not working.
No, not at all.
And now people are making fun of me and they're calling me weird. And they're making fun. They're saying I have an accordion in my hands. Like, yeah, dude, we're saying all that shit. Like, fuck you. Yeah. We're saying all that shit. And we've been saying all that shit. Like, dude, it's crazy. Like, that is nuts. That's wonderful.
Decisions.
Yeah.
And yeah, your kids' freedom to go to school without worrying about being shot dead in the hall. And as the next president of the United States always says, when we fight, when we fight, thank you.
We're going to have a crash, and we're going to have a crash like a 1929 crash if she gets in.
A few moments later.
And these are animals, and we have to get them out of our country.
That dude, they had a guy on CNN that was talking about the crime in Minnesota, and this lady literally had a FBI statistic from 2024 was the lowest crime in like a century. Yeah. Like I like, God, man, like I know he's here, like I know he's still here doing the same thing. Yeah, but I want vintage Jon Stewart for this.
Oh yeah.
I need OG Jon Stewart for this because OG John Michael Steele is on the fucking MSNBC channel. He used to make Michael Steele was a puppet. He used to have a literal Michael Steele puppet because it's just wild how things change. Like Michael Steele is a never Trumper, so he can come on that network. Which, by the way, if you watch that network, I didn't know if you guys know this, but it stands for, and maybe everybody knows this, but it's an endeavor between Bill Gates and NBC.
Yeah.
Yes. So I didn't know it stand for Microsoft. Like I would watch it from time to time, and I'm like, they are really like that. You it's not a secret like what they're doing over here. They're down for the left, but it like kind of like they're the Fox News of the left.
100%
in a way. I really watch, not to sound like everybody. I just like read. I like to read news.
Yeah.
Because in today's day and age, you can find people on Substack, like actual journalists, like Ryan Grimm, who like actually writes about true shit in Afghanistan, like where you learn about how we are still withholding money from those people, even though we've already left. And there are people who are burning like their belongings to stay warm.
Yeah.
And like, it's pretty raw. And like, nobody knows about that because it's probably not on CNN. Like we're off that narrative, but
yeah,
there are journalists out here who still do the work. If you want to like, keep up with stuff.
Kind of to speak to like these networks kind of turning away from Trump, he watches this shit like Lil Jon and then just immediately calls Fox News. And and Fox News is a fucking cut to go to Gutfield. So what does he do? He's in the Newsmax.
they never would do him like that.
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness, man.
It's a good time.
Tonight to officially nominate Kamala
Like Lil Jon looks like a groomsman at your wedding. He looks great.
I want to know. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Got him.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes.
This seems like such a small thing, but you know that this is fucking like Trump flipped something over after saying.
No, Trump has one less TV in this house now.
Yeah.
But I have a question though. Is this the vibe? I was asking Katie, is this the vibe you got? This was Coachella. This is Coachella. Like, think about it. The first night they came out, they had Joe Biden. So it's like, that's the Thursday crowd. That's for people that get in there the first day. They've never been. And so they're just seeing everything. Like those are those people, the diehards. And then the Friday or the next crowd was the Obamas. That was the lit crowd. They were like, that was it. That was the best one. That should have been like the night before Kamala Harris, to be honest with you. But then it was the Clintons the next night.
Yeah.
And then they had like all these like Elizabeth Warren, all these people. Like they had these small, like if you saw a flyer, it would be like the Obama's name big as hell, and then like all these tiny little senators' names and House representatives' names. And then like one large, like Chuck Schumer's a little bit larger than everybody, but less big than Obama. So like it's just like shit like that would be great if they would actually embrace stuff like that. And I think that is really what some 20-year-old actually tried to do with this shit.
Oh yeah. I do think of comedy and how fun it would be if just before like every Harris rally, like Obama just did 10 minutes. Just got the group. Yeah, just doing some crowd work, getting the crowd hot. So what do you do for a living?
Obama would like warm up. Yeah. That would be that would be hard. Like, that would be kind of like Dane Cook does that. Dane Cook always gets warm up comedians that are funnier than he is.
Yeah,
I think he says because he wants to hold himself up to a higher standard, but I don't think it ever works. I've never heard anything that he's done since like Vicious Circle.
Yeah,
I think that's the last special I heard. That's an aside.
I was in middle school when the Dane Cook phase, and that dude was like, to middle schoolers, he was God.
Oh yeah, no, everybody was doing the little shocker, like walking around doing that shit. Like it was great. Like, so see, I was literal in school and stuff like that, so I had no idea. So I mean, I just asked somebody one day, and they were just explaining this, and I'm like, why would you? I didn't know that shit. It's like super young. Like I have no idea where we're gonna stick any of these fingers. Like,
well, actually,
one of them.
Actually, Jordan, there's a G spot. You could be stimulated in the ass as well. So to get maximum orgasm, it's best to do from both ends. Like,
well, that was definitely not how they explained it. Like it was just somebody the same age as me. They were like, "Stick up her asshole." Like it was just the same. Just like very crude, rude way of explaining that shit. I went to public school.
Yeah,
I don't have insight as to what their course and speed is and where they're going.
It just goes on and on and on. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse. America's ready for...
Is there a reason they put Don Cheadle on?
I was about to say a random cutaway to Don Cheadle. But honestly, if you're gonna do it, like instantly you know who that is. They're like, oh, that's Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, he's in movies.
Oh, Don Cheadle found that funny.
This one's fun. So this lady's talking. She used to be a press secretary.
Yep. I looked for stuff from her.
Yeah.
Just so we could add it to our board. She got released because of alcohol problems. So I didn't want to.
Yeah.
She might have been potentially drunk in some of these funnier ones I found. So I didn't want to do that to her.
But this text message is a text that she sent to Melania on January 6th. Do you want to tweet that peaceful protests are the right of every American, but there is no place for lawlessness and violence? No.
In Melania's defense, she probably doesn't know that much. She probably doesn't know other English.
Podium and live. Now here I am behind a podium advocating for a Democrat. And that's because I love my country more
Now that you say that she had alcohol,
than my party. Kamala Harris tells the truth. She respects the American people, and she has my vote.
she's got puppet eyes.
It was reported, like,
Yeah,
rumored, like one of those things where like sources close to.
yeah.
So I don't really actually know. It's not like they confirmed it. They
Yeah.
I think the Trump people said it later when she came out and did this.
Yeah.
Like they brought that up. But
Did you see the video of the MLB All-Star game where that chick? Have you seen that?
the girl that fell after singing it poorly.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the All-Star game, but I remember seeing like that somebody.
Yeah.
They sang, and I was like, "What? This is really really bad." Like, are they doing that on purpose?
All about fuzzy puppies and little kittens. All the joy, all the vibe, all the emotion is nothing but empty calories. They burn fast and make you fat.
The good vibes aren't gonna. You can't eat good vibes, right?
Party.
That's how the fucking Republicans are handling it. You can have
Like,
fun.
Laura Ingraham is comedy. I used
Yeah.
to like, just between you and I, like when I moved to Los Angeles and I was like smoking medical weed for the first time, like just getting stupid baked, I would turn that shit on and laugh my ass off like all the time. By the way, guys, if you're a progressive like me, I love watching Fox News because they report everything that the progressives do. I mean, they do it in a negative way, but they still tell you about it.
Yeah.
Just like today, John Fetterman signed a bill to save kitties. It's like, awesome. Like,
Conservative. It has switched its allegiance from the principles that gave it purpose to a man whose only purpose is himself.
Got him. Who's good
Donald
Operation Mouse
Trump
Knives, though?
is a weak man pretending to be strong.
He's like, I can get fucking used to this. I can say whatever I want to, and they'll just fucking.
He is a small man pretending.
Is that man? Can we go back for a second? Wearing a like NFL style of a donkey.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, that guy. He's.
Yeah.
Blue Wave.
Well, no, he's wearing like a donkey.
No, I don't. Is it a donkey or is it like a whale?
It's a donkey.
Oh, those are teeth. Okay, those are teeth. I thought it was like that little white that would be on a whale. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
A small man pretending.
Also, can we go back? This is just a why. Every time I look, I see more. Why is this woman wearing sunglasses?
She's rolling. For sure, she's rolling. She's in there rolling balls, like absolutely. Oh, she's off. She's off to Neptune.
There's a small man pretending to be big. He's a faithless man pretending to be righteous.
This election is about every drop of water that we can.
I'm just.
You did that man dirty with this pause, by the way.
No, I did, but I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that, like, that's a child. I know it's not. I don't mean any disrespect, but like to me, he looks like somebody that's younger than me.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the head of the Democratic Party in North Carolina is like 24.
Like these are babies.
Yeah, they are.
They're not. They're grown people. But I'm just like, it's
and
just
every breath
10
we
years.
breathe. Fighting the climate.
You could tell me this is Will Smith's son, and I would be like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Like that's Jaden Miles.
Either him or like Joyner Lucas. I can see that being Joyner Lucas's son.
And unlike Donald Trump, our patriotism is more than some damn slogan on a hat. It's about actually giving a damn about the people who live in this country.
As I got to know her better,
You do. I left all of this in.
and just fell in love fast, I learned what drives Kamala. And it's what you've seen over these past 4 years, and especially these past 4 weeks. She finds joy in
Half of that time you were in Paris, my dude.
pursuing justice. She stands up to bullies just like my parents taught me to. And she likes to see people do well, but hates when they're treated on.
Like in that like my parents taught me to. Do you feel like there was like I whooped that man's ass that time? Like that he said that same type of tone. Like,
Yeah.
like he was talking to that person who knows that. Like there's one person at home watching this shit and he's like, like my parents taught me to.
The dude still doesn't walk
Kamala
right.
Harris gets it. Kamala Harris cares.
Kamala knows that each generation has an obligation to the next.
So just cut her out of anything. Appreciate that, man. I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president. Let's see it.
Okay.
We're gonna do.
Just real quick, because it's just I my wife watched this. She'd never seen it. And I showed it to her, and she goes, "What is this?" Like right about here.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, babe, that's JD Vance connecting with the working class. What do you mean? Like that's his people."
Yeah.
So like everybody, this is honest to God. He wrote a book to these people.
Yeah.
About how he's one of these people. Watch how he deals with one of these people.
2 dozen.
Okay.
Yep. And just a random assortment of stuff here. How long have you worked here?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Yeah. Also, I just would like to say, this sounds like a conversation he's had at a strip club before. How long have you been working here? Yeah, okay, cool. How long has this been here? Like,
had rooms to go several times.
like, oh man, they got couches at strip clubs for sure.
Yeah. It just changes that way.
If he pays for a private dance and he's sitting on the couch, does he feel like he got a deal?
Only if I feel like he has to be. He's got to be fucking the couch. Like
I know that's what I'm saying. Like you paid for one dancer for a private dance, but you're going to be sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
So do you think that if that's the case, he's like, oh man, two for the price of one?
Is that
Almost 2 years. Okay, good. How long is
Everything.
just everything? Yeah, I mean a lot of glazed here, some sprinkles.
First off, a lot of glaze. Fuck you.
Whatever makes sense.
Whatever makes me seem not like a robot. Whatever's going to convince you I'm human.
What does Patrick Bateman get? Like,
do you have any unglazed donuts?
oh my god.
Stuff.
It's just so easy.
Whatever makes sense.
Whatever
Yeah,
makes
if you don't
sense.
want to be on film, you're good.
Or makes sense.
Yeah, if you don't want to be on film, you're okay.
Yeah, this lady has asked not to be on film prior to this, and
and she's like, if you don't want to be, you're okay.
yeah.
How long has this place been around?
About 4 years.
About 4 years. Okay.
I love when he asks the question. He just goes.
But what I noticed is if you watch his body language, like, because I love watching, like in cringe moments, that's the time to watch it. But hold on, like after he asks this question, when he hears this other woman finally give him something, he runs to this lady, like, oh yeah. How long's it been open? Like,
okay.
Like, please talk to me. Someone talk to me.
Yeah, it's when we selected this place, I didn't know if it had been here for 20 years or 4 years, or you never know. Sometimes you drop in.
This is a cool story. The owner of this place
Keeps getting closer and closer and closer.
which was founded in
Who's Who is the camera person? Because they're fucking awful.
I just it's kind of like leaving your hand out and someone didn't dap you.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like that awkward how you how you take your hand down slowly, or you try to find something else.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what that whole conversation was.
Yeah. It hurts.
All of it was just that. All of it was just him getting left on dap.
Have you seen the video of Walls in like the Runza?
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
like day. It's like
He was in there for like 5 seconds too.
Yeah.
Like JD, that was so painstakingly long.
Housing, healthcare, taxes, abortion. Trust Donald Trump and JD fans to look out for your family? Shoot, I wouldn't trust them to move my couch.
Fucking kill him.
I like Elizabeth Warren. I
love
don't think
Elizabeth Warren just made a JD Vance fucks couch joke.
Yeah, I think everybody was gonna do that. In a way, like these conventions are kind of weird. Like they are just very like Kamala will cure cancer. Kamala is the greatest superhero in the world. Like, and that's great. But like Kamala also has some policies, and like you could talk about those. You know, they're pretty good ideas. And to be honest, from most of what I hear, I mean, this might turn people off, I guess, but like some of that shit is in common with like what Bernie Sanders sees the world as.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild considering she used to put a shit load of people in jail.
Yeah.
You know, can't forget that. Definitely can't forget that. If you don't want to vote for her for that reason, my God, I kind of understand. But that's why I would ask you, don't vote for her. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I just want to put that out there. I'm voting for Doug Emhoff and Tim Walz. Like that's it. That's it. I'd rather have somebody that doesn't want to call the National Guard and issue martial law on an entire country.
Yeah.
And maybe just see what the fucking local police and local resources can do than not.
Yeah, I agree.
LuLaRoe.
What in the hell? LuLaRoe, what is that?
We are creating confidence and security. I had achieved the dream. I was selling magic leggings.
This is a huge opportunity in America.
Women were selling breast milk so they could afford startup costs.
It had just become a circus. Mark starts spouting off passages from the Book of Mormon.
A mass delusion.
Oh my God, I'm in a cult.
Did any of them have a clue how to run a company of this size?
No.
What is the real story of LuLaRoe?
We want to see women succeed.
That's where the business started. There's magic in the air. But most people have not sold anything.
There became the push to put off a successful image. Deanne says, I got the weight loss surgery. I can hook you up. What?
It's wild. But they have these like conferences where it's just like it's almost
that the government,
the excitement level that we have going on here. Like, but like maybe just a little bit more. And it's all about like selling leggings. So
it's selling Kamala.
Yeah, 100%.
I hate to disappoint you, but I will have to circle back with you on that as well.
But a quick side, because it does have to do with this. But guys, Kerry Washington is not like Olivia Pope is not a real person.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck she's doing there. I mean, I'm happy she's there. I'm happy she votes, and like, but the rest of us do too. I don't know why she's there, other than I guess you all think Olivia Pope is like a real thing.
Yeah.
That's in your state. You want to know more in your state? They just found 250.
This?
No.
Okay.
Oh no, that looks like the.
Have you seen this video though?
Is this the pillow guy?
Yeah, it's the pillow guy.
Okay.
Arguing with a child.
See, I would like no, because that would never appear in anything I ever looked at. Like the algorithm doesn't even. It's just like he doesn't care. Like,
257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election. This just came out. You're behind. You should.
So your source is Trust Me, bro? That's your source?
This is your judge.
Thanks, buddy. I'm okay. He provided no facts, no sources. So I'm confused as to why his source was Trust Me, bro.
Mike Lindell just got rolled by a 12-year-old.
But it's not surprising.
Yeah, well, like
most Republicans' sources are Trust Me, bro. Most of who the real Trust Me, bro fucking candidate is Robert Kennedy Jr. That's the real Trust Me, bro guy. Trust me, bro. All that guy shit.
Yeah.
I heard. Look, I know. Like, I'm gonna steal this joke. I'm not gonna lie. This is a stolen joke, but like, for the people that say that's fucked up. You can't make fun of his voice. Like, you also can't ignore it. Like,
yeah, 100%. What a fucking wacky dude.
Was the very first decision I made when I became.
A lot of people are saying, man, we should have had the State of the Union at like 11 p.m. every time.
Our nominee. And it was the best decision I made my whole career. She's tough, she's experienced, and she has enormous integrity.
He's got get off my yard energy with everything he says.
Enormous integrity.
this is the conundrum of Joe Biden. Is like, in a perfect world, like in a world where we had ranked choice voting, for instance.
Yeah.
People like Rashid Tlaib and Omar Ilhan Omar, like they would not be in the same party as Joe Biden. By any stretch of the imagination. Adam Kissinger would not be in the same party with Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Liz Cheney as well. Like even John McCain probably wouldn't have been in the same party as well, not as Mitch McConnell, but as like some of these, like Matt Gaetz.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of the Freedom Caucus members. Some of the Freedom Caucus members kind of view themselves as not even part of the Republican Party. That's why they threw Kevin McCarthy out.
Yeah.
And Matt Gaetz did that. Like, here's the thing. A lot of people shit on him because he's far right. And a lot of his ideas are kind of fucked up. And they are. But you kind of have to listen to people, because one of his ideas is to put a bill on the floor that only allows single issue bills. So instead of having all these bills that are called these other names that have nothing to do with shit, because you just hollowed it out and threw a new law in there to try to pass it because it was already passed in another chamber. So that, like, for instance, the House will pass something, they'll get it in the Senate will decide to gut that out and make it something else, and then, you know, like send it back to the House, who will send it back, and now it goes to the president's desk, and it just makes the process faster. Matt Gaetz is like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Why don't we just put one single issue on the floor, vote on it, and then send it over and vote on it, and either send it back or send it to the people? Like, and that's how you should do it. But when you put multiple issues, then it allows politicians to sit there and do nothing, because they can always point to something in a bill as like, I have a problem with this and this and that, as opposed to just having all of those things as individual bills, and then whatever he has the problem with, that's an individual bill. We can discuss that. As having to compromise on the bill in its entirety, you just have to compromise on the one thing. That's how people get fucked. That's why I see sometimes like what that most of the people on the far left and the far right have the same thing in common. They both do not like the government as currently constructed.
Yeah.
In that way, we are all allies. I think that whatever candidate can speak to both the far right and the far left at the same time. That looks like, I guess, like, I don't know. I think Caitlyn Jenner ruined it, but she would have been the closest. She would have definitely been the closest that we could have ever come.
How dare she?
She ruined it.
Yeah.
She had people on both sides.
Pausing on this kind of makes me think of like when you're like watching wrestling and they like show the wrestler in a box, like watching this.
It also has a very
Her
Dooku
story
or
represents the best
Star Wars feel.
American story.
Yeah.
And like many of our best presidents, she was also vice president. That's a joke.
President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
Advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is. I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
that there are some folks who struggle or pretend to struggle with the proper pronunciation of our future president's name. So, hear me out. Confusion is understandable. Disrespect is not. And what are you here to do?
To teach you how to say your auntie's name.
Okay, so how do you pronounce it?
First you say comma like a comma in a sentence. Then you say la like la 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 la.
I mean, no matter your politics or how you feel about the current commander-in-chief, he is the current president of the United States.
I almost felt badly for him.
It's the ultimate slap in the face.
Is this really how you treat someone that you love? I just think that's disgusting.
We're going to have a crash, and we're going to have a crash like a 1929 crash if she gets in.
A few moments later.
And these are animals, and we have to get them out of our country. I'm not going to let go.
The music, yeah.
Fox News is really good at doing this, and I think it's because like they want to be seen on other programs.
Yeah,
like they're ignorant on purpose because it's ridiculous to give a shit about how someone treated Joe Biden, like and be that specific network.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy. Like it's absolutely nuts. That you cannot do that. Like even the most hardcore Fox News watcher doesn't believe that.
Yeah, no, not at all. This is the comparison of the music at the different conventions.
That's true. I just want a full house and a little piece of land.
And CC Top, Bocephus Beasties and the Kings of Rock, Skinner, Seeger, Lipcorn, Stones, David Attico and No Show Jones.
If I when he was performing, my wife, like the TV was on mute, and my wife walked by the TV, and on her way, like she was going by it into another room, and then she looked and peered her head back, and she goes, "Who is that? I didn't see it." And I was like, "Neither did he." Like I still to this moment think she made that joke on purpose, but she swears she did not.
I wish I had a rich uncle that would kick the bucket. I was sitting on a pile like a warrior puppet. I know everybody says.
I do think it's hilarious that they had this whole convention against Biden, and then it just is fucking null and void like as soon as he steps down.
Yeah. Also, Kid Rock was lip syncing the last three words,
he definitely,
like every time.
He was lip syncing it all. I'm
Joe.
sure.
Another round of shots. DHC, turn out for what?
So loud.
North Carolina, how do you cast your vote?
Delegates and alternates, let us commence with the call of the roll of the states.
Delegates, are you ready? Let me hear you.
Iowa, 40 delegates.
Dude, you gotta do it.
Gotta do it. You gotta do it right now.
Much joy in this convention hall.
There were empty seats here when even as late as when Joe Biden was speaking.
The vibes are off. No one's talking to each other.
This is probably the most boring scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
People are having a great time. Stevie Wonder just performed, and there's more electricity in this room.
Some people think that one way to build trust is to declassify.
Have you seen this?
If you were president, would you
Okay, this is my favorite. This is the last thing we have to. So
declassify? You can answer yes or no to these. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would. I think that less so. Because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
is there anything else you'd like to say about the DNC?
It was really well done. It was really well done. You could tell that you can tell the Republicans are staying with whoever the age was of the person that set up the last one. You can tell that they're staying right there with that demographic. And then you can see that like the Democrats are shifting more towards people our age. And I really like that. I hope that like there are actual policies that come out of supporting people our age, like instead of doing shit that only boomers really like maybe do some stuff for us so that by the time we get to be our boomers age, like Social Security is still there. And simple shit like that. Like it's very easy to express an idea, but the problem is that people are scared to say anything, because if you don't do it, for some reason everybody in the world just shit on you, like as if you're not trying. Also, man, guys, I could regret saying this because Donald Trump hasn't lost yet, but we're gonna look back at this time and kind of wonder, like, Joe Biden, he slipped in there. Like we didn't want that back then either. We just he kind of slid in there. He ran a whole campaign out of his basement. Like I can never forget that. Like that part of the criticism that he gets, absolutely true. But you know what? That shit was effective. And that man, old man, you didn't know he was old until the day he got inaugurated. Like my God, what a G! Like he's a better con man than Donald, if you think about it.
Yeah, I would say
they both conned their way into the presidency.
And with that, we will now hop into.
Now it's time for Daniel to explain to a grumpy old man how to use the damn TikTok. It's Daniel's TikTok corner.
Party don't start till I walk in. Don't stop.
And when you last saw me a decade ago, I was in an intimate relationship with my car, Chase. Unfortunately, Chase is no longer a part of my life. I still think about it a lot, and it breaks my heart he's not here. You look back and you just don't realize the things you take for granted until it's too late. And so this is where I keep a lot
That's
of
a troll.
mementos. The bedroom is just a special place.
That's a
and I felt like
troll.
That was the
That's not a
perfect
real
place for
person.
him, and nice to have him close to me. The blanket's special to me because it's got a lot of his good pictures on it. Just cute
Whoa,
stuff I can
whoa,
get in the
whoa,
bathroom.
whoa, whoa! What's the Porsche doing there? That's the whoa! What's he doing there? Like he's sleeping with the Porsche in the sheets of his old lover? What the fuck kind of shit is that? Terrible person.
Together.
I felt sorry for you too. This is a troll.
I still think about Chase every day, but I moved on and found my baby girl online. Pretty good. I love Lex with all my heart. Thank you for all you do for me. I'm really dedicated to her and just want to be there, I guess, for her as much as I can. Lex is a 2003 luxury sedan. She's my baby girl now, and she just kind of has that just cute face. She's just kind of that baby to me. Hi, baby girl. So with vehicles, I tend to place gender based on looks. Chase had more of a male look to me. And Lex, with her lights and stuff, she just has more of a curved appeal, and so she kind of resembles more of a woman to me. She's got a cute little, her cheeks and stuff, as I call it, kind of in this area. Lex has a lot of things about her that I really love. Her headlights, for one, she just has beautiful eyes. Her taillights are pretty to me as well. She's got a cute butt to me, I think. I like how her taillights really look on her. Lex is a little dirty right
Katie, you got some cute taillights.
but even in her own way, she's sexy when she's dirty. I love spending as much time with her as I can. Some people would call me gay for being with Chase, and maybe some people call me straight being with Lex. But I mean, I guess it'd be an objectum sexual. Just because I place that those genders on the vehicles and stuff doesn't really relate to being gay or bisexual.
Correct.
Shoots a lot. I think about Chase every day, but you know, Lex is she's my main squeeze. She's my baby girl now, and you know, I still love her as much as I did him. Baby girl. Love you. So Lex is not the only love that I have in my life.
You whore.
Toss to see who gets to kick off.
So that was that. You have anything you'd like to add?
That man's a whore. He's also a troll. That's not real. None of that was real. That cannot be real.
I don't know.
If it is, I would honestly I feel that. Like, I wish I felt like that about like an object, but not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that. My wife.
Yeah.
But like that whole diatribe about like, no, I'm not gay, I like cars. Like, yeah, no shit. Like that's what does being gay have to do with any of this actually?
Well,
Like,
he fucks the cars, like all JD Vance.
That's okay. Here's my question with all these things. But how? Like, is it all just petroleum jelly and plastic bags between couch or between cushions? Is what we're doing? Well, then I would argue that neither one of them like that. He doesn't like a couch and he doesn't like a car. You both like bags.
You are now entering the splash zone.
Bitch splash, gravy all over my cash. Young Steve Nash, pull up in a motherfucking splash. Splash like a fountain, splash. Come and get a wet.
We're going to have a crash, and we're going to have a crash like a 1929 crash. If